Welcome to the Warrior Way podcast, where we talk about all things Liberty Christian School. I am your host for today, Johnny Isom, Director of Alumni Relations, and I am so glad that you are joining us for today's show. Today is episode 18, and we are talking about exhibiting Christ-like character with Grace Korak, an alumnus of Liberty Christian School. So with that, let's dive into today's conversation. All right, Grace, how are you doing today?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great. I feel like it's been like a little bit of your road show, like at Liberty. You've kind of hit a lot of different spots since being on campus.
Yeah, I feel kind of famous, but I'm really not, so it's kind of fun.
No, you've done an incredible job of just leading chapel and morning devotion. So you've done a great job. So let's just talk about, we're at Liberty. Let's talk about kind of your time here at Liberty.
Well, it was pretty brief. I was here for a year and a half. I graduated in 2019. I went to public school my whole life, and then when I transferred here, it was just in a time, it was just kind of like a low place in my life, but I also was needing to be challenged academically. And so when I transferred here, it was just the perfect fit, honestly. Like, I feel like I just fit right in. I was able to make friends, able to connect with people, able to just immerse myself in the culture and just be surrounded in an environment where other people love Jesus. Other teachers are pouring into me. It was just really beneficial to me and really helpful.
So just as I know your faith, just being around your faith is just a huge part of your life. Was your faith, before you came to Liberty, was that kind of like your family was heavily involved in the church, or how was your faith kind of walked out before you came to Liberty?
Well, so I grew up in a Christian house. We went to church every Sunday, and I just kind of had a lot of hardships early on in life, and I truly believe when I was 8, that's when I became a Christian, and that's when my faith became my own. Because of the hard things I had walked through, I was able to see Jesus in a new way, in a different perspective that wasn't just my parents' faith. And so after that, that's kind of when I started wanting to go into Christian music. That's what I do, Christian artist. And that's just kind of when the Lord kind of put those passions on my heart. And so I began just kind of walking with him in that and just wanting to sing and just pour into other people for his glory and share my story through just whatever I was going through, like whatever opportunity was ahead of me. And so I kind of had just gone to church and was leading small groups and was involved in just a ministry just to pour out into others and just to like spread the gospel at the public school. That was just like a big ministry field that I was at. I'd been a Christian that whole time. I'd just been walking with the Lord that whole time. And then when I transferred here, it was something that was just really encouraging to me. And I was able to see leadership pour into me rather as like a public school where people weren't able to be public with their faith or they didn't believe at all. For sure. So just thinking about just different staff members or kids, does anyone stand out as far as our Liberty community that kind of had an influence on your time here, even though it was brief? Yeah, does anyone kind of stand out when you think back? Oh man, I feel like I was thinking about this, like trying to think about all the people who have touched me, and I feel like there were so many staff, so I'm saying this one name, but there's so many more. But Lance Burrows, he's gone now, but he really was able to just help me in that transition. Like, he always checked on me, asked me like how I was doing, and really just showed me the love of Christ and just poured that out to me, but also to other students around me. He created a space. Like, I just remember if there was a day that it was just like a tough day or I was just going through something, I could go to him in his classroom with my friends and we could just sit there during snack and just vent to him, and he would just listen. Like, he didn't really say much, like he didn't really have much of a response, but he was just like, wow, yeah, like, I'm so sorry. Like, he was just very receptive to that, and that really influenced me and like showed me how to listen really, and just how he just was very good at creating that environment. And yeah, the list goes on, but that was just the main person that kind of came to my mind. For sure. Yeah. Lance is incredible person. Yeah, it's still really connected with just the Burrows family. His dad's still here, and he's just a good person, and I think a lot of that comes from their dad. He's pretty incredible. I don't know if you had a lot of time with him, but he's incredible. So just thinking about, I know you had some people that you knew, some connections that you knew friend-wise before you came in, but are you able to keep stay in contact with any old Liberty alum? It's funny because the people that I thought I would stay in contact with are not the people that I thought I would be connected with. I think a lot of friendships grew after high school that I wasn't necessarily friends with them in high school. And they, just various moments they've reached out to me, I've reached out to them, and we've been able to just connect and just build a friendship after high school, which was so special to me because I feel like I had when I transferred halfway through junior year, so I really only had a year and a half here to just build those relationships, the ones I didn't have before. And towards the end, I feel like I was really getting into a groove with some people and just like becoming friends and like building relationships. But then we all graduated, so it was kind of hard to stay connected in that way. But the people who I've continued to reach out and meet to them, like it's just so special to see how we've just been able to support each other and our starting our careers and just our journey and faith. Yeah. And it's just, that's so it's cool. Exciting.
You talk about leaving, graduating from Liberty and starting, what's going to become of your career. Kind of tell us about your transition from graduating, walking off the stage at Liberty Christian graduation, and kind of what's next for Grace. Kind of talk through what that looked like.
It was such a hard process because my whole life I was so college driven. I was like, I'm going to college after school. Like nobody can tell me anything else. Like that's what I'm doing. I was out of college prep school, and then the Lord just completely was like, hey, like let's just slow down for a minute. And he was able to create opportunities for me to pursue a career in Christian music as an artist and as a songwriter. And so that was kind of hard and also exciting for me, like a pill to swallow, because that dream of going to college, it just is not what I felt like the Lord was calling me to at that time. And he just had been continuing to open these other doors. And so when I graduated, I decided to pursue those opportunities and go into that. And it's definitely not what I expected it to look like because, COVID happened, obviously. So that was just kind of like a changing moment. And then also I just started dealing with chronic illness and becoming sick. And it was just not what I pictured it to look like. And so after that happened that year, I ended up moving to Nashville because that's just where I was traveling to. But it was kind of hard during COVID. It was just like where the Lord had just been calling me and leading me to go. And so I would fly there for writes, and then I eventually moved there and just started connecting with people and just going to these writers' rooms with writers that I was never expecting to write with. I was like, how am I here? Like, why are you writing with me? Like, I sang that song at a 5th grade talent show. Like, what is happening? Like, what is my life right now? And it was really just testimony to the Lord's faithfulness and him walking with me, because it's scary to not go to college and not go the traditional route that I thought I was going to go on, and just kind of step out in faith and where the Lord was calling me and drawing me to. And so, my life has just looked a lot of different ways, had a lot of jobs, a lot of just like side hustles, while also just pursuing music full time and just working with an amazing team and just being able to just have the most amazing opportunities. And it's definitely not what I expected my life to look like, but I love it.
For sure. Well, kudos for you for one, just being obedient, and then also too for you're pursuing your dreams. And I think that's awesome that you get to kind of do both. So just kind of walk us through, what does a typical day in Tennessee look like for you, or Nashville look like for you?
Oh man, it's different every day, honestly. But the most typical day. So I have a dog, right? So I got to take care of him. Name? His name is Honey. He's a boy dog named Honey, because I really wanted a boy dog and I really wanted a dog named Honey. So we mixed the two. I don't think he cares. So, so yes, I take care of him. I'll wake up, take care of him, and then if I have a song write that day, I'll wake up just really thinking about what I want to bring into the songwrite and how to contribute. I'll go into the songwrite, we'll write about for 3 hours, and then an hour record the demo. And then I'm also a dog walker, so I'll go walk some dogs, right? And I also do Uber Eats, so I'll go drive around, deliver people's food. It's just so
really?
fun.
Okay,
I do,
awesome.
It's funny because the people that I've delivered to, like, there's been some famous people. I'm like, wow, this is cool. Hope you know me other than being your delivery person.
You never know where a connection will
exactly.
happen.
Yeah, it's been so fun. And so I'll do that. And honestly, on my own, I'll write music on my own. I work a lot on social media, and I'm working with a team. So I'll have like meetings, I'll have calls, I'll set up booking, I'll like book my gigs, I'll book just different opportunities, and then practice for those, and then film for social media. And I mean, the list goes on. This is just like, I pretty much work from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. And then I have gigs on top of that. So I'll do that. But a typical day is just, there's not one. So that's just kind of a mixture of everything that I do. I also have voice lessons, work on my voice, all the things.
Wow, that's incredible. And I've got to hear, I would say maybe 5 or 6 of your songs at this point now. Just and your lyrics are incredible. Like, they're incredible. So kind of talk us through that process. I know you said, we talked a little bit, and you said it's a kind of a creative team, but talk us through kind of how your lyrics come together, because they're so heartfelt and deep, and I just really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Yeah, so the reason I write songs is that I want to share my story through the songs and share how the Lord has taken my brokenness and made something beautiful, and how continues to do that out of my hurt. And so really, when I go into writing a song, I'll just really journal. I'll just think about, what am I wanting to say? Like, how am I feeling right now? And what am I going to choose to believe? And so I kind of just start out on my own. I'll either sit down at the piano, I'll play my guitar or whatever it is, and I'll just start writing what's on my heart. And then I'll kind of start shaping that into more lyrics, and then kind of go into what I'm going to choose to believe, and what I want, how I want the Lord to work. And even if he doesn't work in that way, just like choosing to believe that he's still faithful, and that he can move mountains, and that I just need to just trust him in that. And so I kind of just sit down, I write down my thoughts, figure that out, have a concept, and then I'll take those into a song, right? And I'll have like kind of like a full song, like a rough draft of a song, and I'll have the idea, and I'll bring a few in there, and I'll be like, okay guys, here's the ideas. If you don't like them, that's okay. We can move on to the next idea. I hope you like them though. And so I'll kind of play them, and then we tweak them, and we just sometimes we destroy them, and they're something different than we started with, and I love it. Or we kind of keep it similar, and we'll like tweak some things here and there, and we change the lyrics up a lot usually, because I feel like I enjoy more like melodies, and I know what I want to say, but just how to say it's kind of hard for me sometimes. And so they'll kind of help me in that area. And so
that's so cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Okay, so in a perfect world, what is Grace doing in 10 years? What does your life look like?
Well, in 10 years, I would love to have already gone on multiple tours as an artist, right? I would love to, I say this, but these are like my earthly desires, and it's okay if the Lord does not do this, but I would love to have a number one song. I would love to be on the radio. I would love to be an artist, to go travel and go tour, headlining show, also opening. Those are what I want for myself. My ultimate bucket list, I would love to play at Red Rocks Amphitheater. I think it's in, honestly, I can't tell you where it is, but I want to play there, okay? I think it's in Colorado.
You just know you want to play
I just know that's where I want to go. It's really beautiful. I think it's in Colorado, but yes, it is. I know for a fact it is. Okay. But honestly, like those are what I want and what I desire. But ultimately, whenever I'm thinking about the Lord and like where he's taking me and the desires he's placed in my heart, the root of it is that I want to encourage others, and I want to spread the gospel through my music, and be able to do that as a career, and be able to just pour into others and share my story, and show how, like I said earlier, just how he can bring purpose to my pain. And that's really the heartbeat of why I'm doing that. And the other things I would love to have happen, but at the same time, it's okay if they don't.
Well, we're definitely pulling for you.
Yeah, I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the lightning round. Here we're going to have our guests answer as many questions as possible in 30 seconds. Grace, are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys.
Favorite TV show growing up?
Hannah Montana.
Greatest songwriter of all time?
No, you can't do that to me. That's true. David Leonard.
Okay. Who makes you laugh?
My boyfriend.
Aww. Can you play a Beatles song?
No.
Okay.
That's really bad. I'm sorry.
Best Christmas gift you ever received?
A guitar.
Favorite breakfast food?
Oatmeal.
Biggest musical influence?
Chris Renzema.
What Texas thing do you miss the most being in Nashville?
The sunsets.
Oh. Now, we couldn't have a singer-songwriter on our podcast without having you sing a song for us. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Grace Korak singing Head to My Heart.
I grew up reading stories, singing nursery rhymes, telling how Jesus loves me. I've got it all memorized. God, my head knows I'm loved, but my heart's not convinced of it yet. In my mind, I'm your child, but my soul always seems to forget. I am loved as I am. I am safe in your hands. I am known by the maker of the stars. Help me give from my head to my heart, to my heart. Yeah, some days it comes easy. Got my head in the clouds. Some days all the heavy brings me spiraling back to the ground. God, my head knows I'm loved, but my heart's not convinced of it yet. In my mind, I'm your child, but my soul always seems to forget. I am loved as I am. I am safe in your hands. I am known by the maker of the stars. Help me give from my head to my heart, to my heart. I want to more than know it, I want to receive. Lord, good are your plans for me. I want to more than know it, I want to believe. I'm made beautifully, wonderfully. I want to more than know it, I want to receive. Lord, good are your plans for me. I want to more than know it, I want to believe. I'm made beautifully, wonderfully. I am loved as I am. I am safe in your hands. I am known by the maker of the stars. Help me give from my head to my heart, to my heart, to my heart.
So now let's just close out with just one final thought, one final verse, or just a word of encouragement for our Liberty community.
Man, I think just something that's just so in my heart is the verse Genesis 50 verse 20, and it says, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, for the saving of many lives. And so no matter what you're going through, no matter what's happening, the Lord can take the brokenness, the hurt, the pain, and turn it into something beautiful, and turn it into something that can save other people's lives. And don't pass the opportunities that the Lord has placed on your lives and the callings that He's put on it, and just listen to Him and follow Him and trust Him in that, and choose to believe that He's good.
I want to thank Grace Korak for being on the podcast today, along with Mr. Josh and Mr. Habron for their behind-the-scenes support of the show. If you have any questions or comments for the show, drop us a line at podcast@mylcs.com. Be sure to subscribe to the Warrior Way podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you consume your podcast services. Until next time, go Warriors!